Welcome to another live edition of the Real Estate Show, the TGIF edition of the Real Estate Show, to be precise. My name is Eric Willner, and we are broadcasting live from South Florida, but broadcasting everywhere from our local stations on the AM dial at 1470 to the FM dial 96.9, 95.3, and 103.9, not to mention on the iHeartRadio network, the TuneIn app, and the Spreaker app. All of those free apps you can download and take this radio show with you on the go. And you can also go to our website at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com, where you can just go to the top of the page there where it says the Real Estate Show. Listen to us live as we stream this show at 5 p.m., our new live at 5 time, as well as at 8 p.m., where you can also get our radio show on the automaticlandlord.com. Well, we got a great show for you today as we wrap up another busy week here on the Real Estate Show. We want to say a super good real estate day to the rest of the real estate world listening to us wherever you are, not just here in South Florida. But we want to also make sure that we thank each and every one of you for making the Real Estate Show America's longest running daily radio show. Not only South Florida's #1 program, but the longest running daily radio show in America. And so, as I mentioned, my name is Eric Willner, and we are here talking about all things real estate, whether it be the properties, the management, the financing. In fact, on our Friday shows here, we like to kind of hit the high points of the week. Usually we start the week off on a theme. Lately, we've been spending a lot of time trying to let everybody know about our new time, which now is live at 5 p.m. each and every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, that is. And we also have our 8 p.m. show, as we have for quite some time before that. But at the new time, hopefully we'll be able to spend a little bit of time with you as you're on your way home from work, for those of you that are making the trip to the office. And for those of you who are still privileged enough, I guess, to be working from home, then this is an opportunity for us to catch up at the end of the day, maybe put an exclamation point. And basically what the idea of the Real Estate Show is, and always has been, is to be a resource for those of you out there wanting to learn more about real estate and buy real estate better. What we'll do here is, and what we've done also on that website, is put together a true state-of-the-art back office solution for the real estate investor. So those of you who are interested in not only learning a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market, that's our Wednesdays midweek report. Those of you wanting to get a little bit deeper into the aspects of what to do in real estate, then our Tuesday shows, our Tools, Tips, and Techniques edition. We start the week off on Mondays on a mission. That's what we like to call it, our Mondays on a Mission edition, where we do set that theme and we talk about sort of the agenda and what to expect that week. Now, each and every day is recorded and it is archived up on the Automatic Landlord site. So you can go there if you're looking for the most recent week. It's there in chronological order, the most recent one at the top. You'll see we have a little blog there where we also add some written summaries of what we're doing. You can also do the same on our Facebook page. And for those of you who don't have a Facebook page, just go to facebook.com, The Real Estate Show, all one word, as if it was spelt one word, The Real Estate Show. If you do have a Facebook, all you have to do is search for The Real Estate Show, look for our black and red logo, and you can actually watch the radio show. And the nice thing about that is I have the opportunity to interact and exchange information, answer some questions. Felipe, how are you doing? I just saw you just jump on our Facebook page. And for those of you, stop by, say hello, drop us a little thumbs up there, and we can make this a little bit more interactive. The original object of this radio show, when we founded this show back in 1999, which doesn't even feel like it's that long ago, but literally for 2 decades and now coming up on 2 more years, we have been on a mission to make real estate as simple and as easy and as safe as owning a CD. And that's been sort of our motto, the simple and safe approach to buying real estate. And with that in mind, that's why we have over the years evolved what we're doing, kind of breaking it down into the interest that people have. Some people are interested in real estate as a business, and that's why we talk about treat it like a business. It will pay you like a business. Then there are other folks that are more interested in, what do I do today? What do I do tomorrow? What are some of the tactical decisions, the tactics, the tools, the techniques in real estate? And we do that. And what we have designed this so that each day it sort of attempts to address a different angle of real estate. Wednesdays is our midweek report. We like to take a pause in the middle of the week and take a look at the sort of the environment, the surroundings. We'll look at the news, what's going on, and how does that impact real estate? How does it impact real estate today? How will it impact real estate going on in the future? And what decisions can we make now based on the news that's going on that will make us be more profitable and have that simple and safe experience with real estate? And I think that's really the secret behind, certainly one of the secrets, why the Real Estate Show is America's longest running daily radio show, is because through good times and through bad times, the information that we have is sound, proven strategies on what someone in real estate should do. Now, we always like to say that everybody is in real estate, and what we really mean by that is most people, everybody, you're either on real estate or you're in real estate. If you're on real estate, you're one of the folks that pays rent to the people in real estate that own the properties. If you're going to work at a business, a warehouse, a retail store, you are contributing through your work to the rent that gets paid to the people in real estate. Now, the people in real estate, they have a lot of advantages over the people on real estate. Not only are they on the receiving end of that rent check, but they also get the monthly income. They get the tax advantages from depreciation to a whole list of other tax advantages that only real estate experiences. They get the equity buildup. They get the appreciation, which, by the way, are two very different things. You can have equity buildup even in a down market or in a flat market. Appreciation comes along in great markets like the one that we're in now, where we've seen for the last couple years a steady and good appreciation, rising prices of properties. And then you also have the ability, the leverage, to be able to control a fairly large asset with a relatively small amount of money. So those are all the good reasons why you want to be in real estate as opposed to on real estate. And if that's what you want to do as well, then you're in the right place here on the Real Estate Show. So also want to bring to everyone's knowledge, those of you that are just learning about the Real Estate Show at 5 o'clock, that in addition to our 5 o'clock show, plus our 8 o'clock show, that's 2 shows a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 shows. We also have free workshops for our listeners. These are special workshops dedicated to our listeners that want to learn a little bit extra about a particular thing. And those two are also on a very regular basis. Monday nights, for example, at 9 o'clock after our last show, we have a workshop called the Equity Accelerator Workshop. And this is where we spend about 45 to 60 minutes talking about ways on how you can create more equity with your real estate right now. You don't have to worry about whether the market's going up, down, or flat. You can effect the equity in your property by either paying down your mortgage faster. And we even have ways to do that without having to go out and make extra money. Simply by redirecting and optimizing, there are strategies that we have, algorithms, if you will, that we use. And so if you want to learn more about the Equity Accelerator Workshop that we have Monday, coming up this coming Monday again, then all you have to do is text the word equity to our dedicated listener line, 561-861-2030. 2366. These are Zoom online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the country, as long as you have the Zoom access code and the passwords, which you'll get as a listener simply by texting the word equity to 561-861-2366. Now, we also on Tuesdays have a credit accelerator class, where those of you who are looking to build credit, maybe you have weak credit, no credit even, or damaged credit, we'll show you how to recover that in 6 months, 3, 6, 12 months, depending on the severity and how diligent you are in doing those things. So all you have to do in order to get the instructions and an invitation, a free invitation to that workshop, that is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday. Just text the word credit to 561-861-2366. And if that's not enough, if 10 shows plus 2 of those workshops, we have a third workshop, which is for entrepreneurs. Now, entrepreneurs are near and dear to the real estate show's heart. In fact, we believe that every real estate investor is an entrepreneur. And in order to make them better and more profitable entrepreneurs, we have a workshop called the Big Round Table on Thursdays. And that happens at 8:30 immediately following our Thursday show. And again, to join that one, all you have to do is text Big Table to 561-861-2366. So those are just some of the resources that are available. Many more on our website at automaticlandlord.com. Listening to this show is another one of the resources that you have on that website. But let's dive in. In fact, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then let's dive into the highlights of this week on this TGIF edition of the Real Estate Show. So don't touch that dial. My name is Eric Willner. You're listening to the Real Estate Show, and we will be right back with this week's wrap-up. So here's to the hardest working man in real estate. 2 shows and a workshop a day. Today was a fun and busy day. Anyway, Felipe, how are you? TGIF to you too. Happy Friday. Happy hour follows immediately hereafter. Maybe we'll have to make a formal happy real estate show happy hour on Fridays too. Right now it's pure water. Let's see who else we have in here. Do we have Earl? Hey Earl, how are you? How's the weather up there in Chi-Town? The Windy City. I bet you it's got to be cooling off a little bit more there. Earl, longtime friend of the Real Estate Show. Longtime friend of mine as well. Who else we got? You see that, Felipe? Facebook now rated you as a top fan. Ooh, 75 degrees in Chicago in November. Not bad. Anyway, here comes the music. We're coming back in. We rejoin the show. And welcome back. For those of you who might just be joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner. I am the host of The Real Estate Show, the founding host for 22 years. Through good times and bad times, The Real Estate Show has been here, a beacon of light in the real estate markets, whether they're highs in the mid early 2000s, lows after 2007 and 2008, through the Great Recession, and even through the Great Pandemic. The Real Estate Show here is designed to be objective, even through crazy elections like we just had. The Real Estate Show here is on point and dedicated to bringing you the best information out there about real estate. And lots and lots of free resources. As we mentioned, the Real Estate Show itself is like a seminar a day in real estate, all free information. The workshops, which I mentioned in the first half of the program, are all available for free for our listeners. All you have to do is text us the code word of that day, equity. You'll text that for the Monday Equity Accelerator, credit for Tuesday, the Credit Accelerator, and Big Table for our Thursday shows. All of those you can text to our dedicated listener hotline at 561-861-2366. So this Monday, we're talking about the new show at 5, and we spent a kind of a little extra time going back to the roots of our radio show. Our radio show, which was founded April 1st of 1999, a day I remember very well. It was when I broke off of another real estate show that I was a part of. It was the first real estate show that existed. When I started the separate and second show, I was the second show about real estate that came to the marketplace. And the first show and the second show had a little bit different philosophies on real estate and how it should be done. We were very much about the simple and safe approach to buying income-producing real estate when we broke off. Today, we are the longest running daily radio show. Won't even get into what happened to the first show, but we always stay true to the fundamental idea that the name of the game here, what we're looking to do, is to make real estate as simple and safe as going out and buying investment properties. Going out and buying a CD. That's what I started saying. I remember how everyone kind of looked at me strange when I said, I want to make real estate as easy as buying a CD. And they go like, what do you mean by that? Well, when you go to the bank to buy a CD, you go to the bank, you have a choice of a couple of different CDs, a 2-year, a 5-year, but you get into a CD, generally speaking. And yes, there are 6-month CDs and there are 1-year CDs as well. Today, they're more popularly known as certificates of depreciation because they rarely keep up with inflation even. But that was the neat thing about real estate. You could get into real estate for 6 months, for 1 year. I recommend for the best returns to get in them for 3 to 5 years. But the bottom line is that we were bringing it so that everything was figured out. We had the automatic landlord solution. We had a way to buy real estate that was simple and safe and brought returns often 10 times, literally 10 times better than a CD. So why, if it was just as easy, why would anybody not buy real estate? Interesting little conversation. Often when I speak in live places to real estate associations and groups, I always ask everyone, who here thinks that real estate is a good investment? And invariably, 99% of the hands go up. I think everybody agrees that real estate is a good investment done right. And then I ask the next question, which is, besides the home that you actually live in, tell me how many people, if everybody believes that real estate is a great investment, how many people own investment real estate? And 2/3 of the hands would go down. Only about 1/3 of the audience still had their hands raised. And I said, well, why is that? And there's lots of different reasons that people initially say it's the money, it's the credit, it's all these other things. But the truth of the matter, it really was more about the fear of getting into real estate and then not knowing what to do. What happens if I get the wrong tenant? What if I can't find a tenant? And the truth of the matter, look at today, we have such a shortage of inventory, both to buy and to rent, that it's not a question of if you can find a tenant. The question, of course, now is how do I make sure that I get the right tenant, especially now with the eviction moratorium. So there's always a different little challenge. But what we were doing is we were taking the mystery out of the game and always helping our listeners and our investors, those that come to us for coaching, mentoring, and advice on what to do if and when something new and different happens. Why? Put our 30 plus years of experience to work. And there ain't much in the real estate market that we haven't been through or seen, including now a once in a century worldwide pandemic. I can even add that, check that box on there as well. But so we spent Monday talking about those things that really made the real estate, I think, create such a solid foundation, and why the Real Estate Show is still here, America's longest running daily radio show, and giving great advice on the simple and safe approach to income producing real estate. Tuesday, we always get into more specifics. We start talking about the tactics, the tools. And especially after, the last 7-8 months now with the COVID fatigue, the election fatigue, the unemployment and economic fatigue, what is it that you need to do? And so we started talking about, more of the specifics of the automatic landlord process that we use. And there are steps to put in place. And it's kind of like, if you want to put a comparison to it, why people buy a franchise. When they want to go into business, they want a proven formula, something that works no matter what. As long as I follow the steps, I've got a manual and I've got a procedure that I can follow that is time tested. Number two is that you have the franchise itself behind it that has seen different markets, different geographies, and different situations, and that whenever there's a question, you can always go back to the franchise founders and get the answers that you need. So that is why franchises have such a much higher percentage of success. And that was our Tuesday conversation. Now, Wednesday is our midweek report. And, given the fact of what's still going on in the marketplace with all of the above mentioned things, the election fatigue, the COVID fatigue, you name it, the moratorium fatigue, and altogether the landlord fatigue. And that's when it says, come here. Sometimes nicknamed the property doctor. When you have a problem with your rental properties, if for some reason, if you can't rent them, don't know why you're not renting them, or don't know what to do to make sure it's renting at the highest value, give us a call. Contact us at automaticlandlord.com. There's a reason for that website that's been around literally for 20 years. The Automatic Landlord, time tested, true, and just an invaluable resource. Not only all the free resources, the workshops that we're constantly doing. In fact, coming up, we'll be announcing our next Automatic Landlord workshop. And we'll be announcing that probably in the next couple weeks. And that's always a very popular workshop. And again, given the COVID environment that we're still in, yes, it will be a Zoom. You can attend it from the comfort of your home or office, no matter where you are across the country. Then we go to our Thursday show. Now, our Thursday show, we got into the finances. Remember, Thursdays is our ATM edition of the real estate show, known because it's about the money. And on the ATM edition of this week's show, we were talking about credit and how credit right now is so important. And believe it or not, especially with forbearances in the mix here, a lot of folks were offered forbearances, and many people, if you recall, when that first started happening in March of this year, okay, here we are in the last quarter of the year. You can go back to March. So what I'm talking about is not armchair quarterbacking, but when they were first offering those forbearances, we said, if you don't need it, if it isn't a requirement, a necessity, don't take it unless you're very disciplined and you're taking that money that you're not paying and investing it to build your real estate portfolio. But even so, understand that even though the government said that it can't affect your credit and it's not supposed to affect your credit score, and in many cases it didn't, but many people were finding out a little bit too late that when they went to go take advantage of our record low interest rate, that when the bank said, okay, everything looks good, now give us evidence that you have the last 12 months of on-time payments, and then someone, get that deer in the headlights look, and they say, well, but I got offered this forbearance, and denied is the answer that you get on that loan. Unfortunately, you kind of shot yourself in the foot, which is why we were saying, if it's not absolutely necessary, if it's not going to help out a short-term problem because it's going to hurt you in the long run. In fact, even one of our shows several weeks back, we were talking, there's a brand new company because of this created that now tracks forbearances for the banks and reports it to the bank. So even though your credit score may not show it, they have a record of it. And yes, that will affect your ability to get loans. And imagine now, here you are, the ability to get sub 3% interest rates fixed for 30 years. And yet because of a short-term advantage that you didn't really need, it cuts you the long-term opportunity, at least for the next year, because you won't have the 12 months, even if you opted out of that forbearance. So anyway, the credit was the topic of this week's. We also talked this week, which is of our brand new path to home ownership. We also announced that Fridays we're going to talk about first time home buyers. And we have now, and we announced on the Thursday show, the path to home ownership, how anybody with any credit can now get in line to own their home within 90 days. And we have a 90-day fresh start solution that literally, if you've got income and if you're on a solid track, we don't care about your past credit scores. We're going to show you A, how to do the credit accelerator, B, how to get yourself set up first to be able to own your home, and then to be able to refinance and get your credit up and to get some of the best rates that are out there. So that's the highlights of this week. Remember, you can go back and listen to any one of our shows up on our website at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. Check out the one that applies to you the most, or go ahead and listen to them all over the weekend. But for now, Eric Willner is signing off for another edition of the Real Estate Show. So until Monday, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Thank you, man. And that wraps that up. I want to say thanks to everybody that joined us on the late edition here of the Real Estate Show. And I hope that everyone has a great weekend. And hey, there's Simone from Boca Raton joining us a little bit later in the show. That's great. Of course, Eric